The air crackled with anticipation. It was a familiar electricity, one that recalled past elections. But this one felt different. The nation stood at a crossroads, more divided than ever. The 2024 election was not just about choosing a president, it was about choosing the soul of America. On one side stood Donald J. Trump, a man who had already made history. He was the 45th president, a brash outsider who had shaken the establishment to its core. Now, he was back, a force to be reckoned with, determined to reclaim what he believed was rightfully his. The chants of Trump, Trump, Trump echoed through his rallies, a testament to his enduring appeal. The ghost of 2020 hung heavy in the air. The controversial election, the legal battles, the January 6th insurrection, it was a wound that had yet to heal. Trump's supporters, many feeling disenfranchised and unheard, saw him as a savior, a man who spoke their language, a fighter who would champion their cause. But America was a nation divided. The other half looked on with a mixture of disbelief and dread. They saw Trump as a threat to democracy, a demagogue who had stoked the flames of division. The very foundations of American democracy seemed to tremble as the nation braced itself for another tumultuous election night. Trump's return to the political arena was nothing short of remarkable. No president in modern history had been defeated and then returned to power. His campaign, fueled by a potent mix of grievance and nostalgia, tapped into a deep well of resentment. He promised to make America great again, a slogan that resonated with his base, who yearned for a return to what they perceived as a simpler, more prosperous time. His rallies were a spectacle, a potent blend of showmanship and anger. He railed against the radical left, the fake news media, and the deep state, painting himself as a victim of a vast conspiracy. His message was simple, direct, and emotionally charged. He tapped into the fears and anxieties of his supporters, offering himself as the only one who could protect them from the forces he claimed were arrayed against them. Economic anxiety was a key theme. Trump hammered home the message that the American dream was slipping away, blaming the incumbent Democrats for rising inflation and job losses. He promised to bring back manufacturing jobs, renegotiate trade deals, and unleash American energy independence. His economic message resonated with blue-collar workers, particularly in the Rust Belt states that had swung the election in his favor in 2016. Immigration, a perennial hot-button issue, was once again front and center. Trump vowed to build the wall, deport undocumented immigrants, and crack down on illegal immigration. He painted a picture of a nation under siege, overrun by criminals and job stealers. His rhetoric appealed to those who felt that their way of life was under threat from demographic and cultural changes. The 2024 election, like many before it, hinged on a handful of battleground states. These were the states that could swing either way, the states where the electorate was closely divided, the states that held the key to the White House. Pennsylvania, with its history of industrial decline and its diverse electorate, was once again a key prize. Trump had flipped the state in 2016, breaking a long-standing Democratic hold. His message of economic populism resonated with working-class voters, both white and minority. Wisconsin, another Rust Belt state with a history of manufacturing, was also in play. Trump's promises to bring back jobs and revitalize the manufacturing sector found a receptive audience among voters who felt left behind by globalization. Florida, with its diverse population and its large retiree community, was a perennial swing state. Trump's focus on immigration and his tough stance on Cuba and Venezuela resonated with Hispanic voters, a crucial voting bloc in the state. The battle for these states was fierce. Both campaigns poured resources into advertising, organizing, and get-out-the-vote efforts. The outcome in these battlegrounds would determine the fate of the nation. Kamala Harris, the incumbent vice president and the Democratic nominee for president, offered a starkly different vision for America. She ran on a platform of progress, unity, and healing the divisions that had come to define American society. Her campaign sought to mobilize the Democratic base, particularly women, minorities, and young people. She emphasized issues such as social justice, healthcare, and climate change, seeking to appeal to voters who were looking for a more inclusive and equitable America. Harris presented a sharp contrast to Trump's divisive rhetoric. She called for unity and understanding, urging Americans to come together to address the challenges facing the nation. She spoke of the need to bridge the partisan divide and to find common ground. Her message resonated with many Americans, particularly those who had grown weary of the constant chaos and division that had characterized the Trump years. But it remained to be seen whether her message of hope and unity would be enough to overcome the deep-seated anger and resentment that had fueled Trump's rise.